Okay, fine. So I'm sharing my screen. So today we'll try to look into a couple of topics. One is combustion in SI engine, and then followed by combustion in CI engine. Combustion in spark ignition engine. Okay. See, we know that in spark ignition engine or what we call it as a petrol engine, the combustion takes place at the beginning of the TDC. So at the beginning of the TDC, and it has to expand. That's a theoretical thing. So what I'm trying to show here is actually a pressure versus crank angle diagram. A simple pressure versus crank angle diagram. And so I do have the TDC. Then on either side, I'm trying to show the BDC. So I'm just trying to show you this simple compression and expansion process. So if I try to move, see the piston will try to move in this direction. So the piston will try to move from the BDC to TDC. So this is how the curve it follows. It follows this particular curve and it goes to a particular pressure. So this is the pressure it's going to reach. So this is the peak pressure, what it's going to reach. And then if it's try to simple expand, I'm not going to do any kind of spark ignition and all. Simply if it expands and if there is a drop in the, so if there is a drop in this pressure, so if there is a drop in the particular pressure and it comes to BDC, this type of curve we call it as a motoring curve. So in a motoring curve, in any kind of an SI engine or CA engine, whatever it may be, there I am trying to show the how the curve, the pressure rise and pressure expansion. So pressure increase and pressure decrease takes place over the crank angle, over the crank angle from 0 to 360. How that particular pressure increase or decrease is shown without actually showing you the combustion. So this is called as a motoring curve. Okay, so this motoring curve is drawn, so it's drawn to show or drawn to or try to understand the behavior of that particular engine. Suppose how the actual thing. So now the same P theta diagram, that is pressure versus crank angle diagram with theoretical combustion, with theoretical process, how it's going to happen in a IACG, in an SI engine, how it happens. Okay, so I have taken the same P theta diagram. So it has reached from the point, maybe if I call this as a 1, so it has reached a point 2. So that's where the compression process will take place. Now, I need to ignite this particular, see here what I am trying to send here actually, it is the fuel air mixture. I am trying to send the fuel air mixture to your engine. Okay. Now I need to ignite this particular engine or ignite this particular fuel air mixture. So I need to provide the spark. So I can't provide the spark exactly. So ideally speaking, in case of an SI engine, I need to provide the spark as well as the combustion. All the things should happen at the TDC. That's the theoretically what should happen. Theoretically speaking, so the spark should happen, the spark, ignition, and the combustion, everything should happen when the piston is at the TDC. So then it's going to reach what is called as, this is the peak pressure. Okay, this is the peak pressure. It's going to reach a peak pressure which is much higher. So roughly I told it may reach around 25 30 bar and all. So here I may be having a pressure of around 12 bar or 14 bar at the point 2. So it may reach a point 3 where it will reach a very peak pressure. That's at the end of the combustion. Burnt gases are is complete. The combustion is complete at that. So once the combustion is complete, the expansion, that is the burnt process, will try to push the piston down. Okay, push the piston down, and if the expansion process will take place. Okay, this is your theoretical what's happening as a engine. So if I don't have any combustion, all the things that is called as a motoring curve. So if I have the combustion process done in a theoretical manner, so the P theta diagram will look something like this. But what happens if it's an actual P theta diagram? Okay, so if it is an actual P theta diagram showing the combustion for an SI engine. Okay, for an SI engine. So this is what it looks like. So I have the 0, 0 represents the TDC. See, if I try to look at it, so this is my 0. So 0, 0 represents the top dead center of this particular engine. So this is where I have my top dead center. So I'm trying to show few angles before TDC and few angles after TDC. This is just sufficient for me to explain this particular what happens in a combustion process in an SI engine. Okay. Now what happens? See, if I call this as something like O or something. Okay. O. So this if I call it as some E. So O to A is the actual compression process. If I try to look at O to A is the compression process. See, compression process. See, what should happen? I should ignite the fuel once the fuel air mixture. So compression process of what actually? It is the fuel air mixture. So the fuel air mixture should get completely compressed at the point A. It is compressed. Now I should ignite the fuel air mixture at point A, and it should start burning. But that doesn't happen. So even though if I try to ignite at point A, actually the ignition will start at point B. Okay, so that's why this particular point 1, so this particular point we call it as 1, so that's called as A to B is called as ignition delay. Okay, that's called as ignition delay. Even though I try to ignite, so that will be roughly, say if you go and look into this, but what will be roughly, this will be of 1,000th of a second. 1,000th of a second. 1,000 or sometimes 100, depending upon the size of the engine. It's not in seconds and all, 0.001 seconds or 0.01 second, something like that. 1,000th of a second, that will be the, so that particular thing. So that is called as ignition delay. But at point B, the ignition will start. Okay, at point B, the ignition will start. So once the ignition starts, actually, this particular fuel air mixture will start burning. Okay, will start burning, and they go up to point C. You see this particular point B to C is nothing but the propagation of the fuel. It is nothing but propagation of the flame. Okay, B to C is the combustion process. This is the combustion of the process due to flame propagation. Due to flame propagation. So what will happen? The flame will start moving in this particular direction. So in this maybe during that period. So that is called as 2 to 3. Now the combustion is complete at the point C. So the burnt gases should start expanding. Okay, should start expanding. So from C to D, we call it as, actually it is after burning or expansion. So this is where your expansion will start. So expansion, it's called as C to D. Then it can go further to D also. So C to D, we call it as after burning. This is also your expansion of the fluid, expansion of your burnt gases. Okay. Now, if you try to compare theoretically what it was happening in the previous thing, the previous diagram, we looked at all the things should happen at a TDC. But actually, if you look at the actual P theta diagram, actual combustion process that's happening, So your TDC is exactly at that particular point. So ignition delay, that means I will try to end my combustion process or end my compression process much before your TDC, maybe roughly around 6 to 8 degrees, or depending upon 10 to 12 degrees, depending upon the type of engine. There is no fixed number. So there is a gap. So 6 to 8 degrees before your TDC, or 10 to 15 degrees before your TDC, your compression will start. Now, your spark ignition should start. So ignition will start couple of degrees, 8 degrees or 6 degrees or 10 degrees. So 6 to 8 degrees is the range around which, or 6 to 10 degrees the range around which your ignition, that is the spark ignition, will start. So after this ignition delay, the spark will start. See, the TDC or the curve, the peak C should not coincide with your TDC. What will happen? See, the combustion products, no? See, the combustion product should go to a particular point, that is after a certain angle, maybe 15 degrees or 18 degrees after TDC. 15 to 18 degrees after TDC, or 12 to 16 degrees depending upon the type of engine. So all the engines doesn't follow the same rule. But I'm trying to explain you that there is a range after your TDC. It should not be too long. See, this point C can't be somewhere here. If that is there, then your burnt gases will not expand properly. I don't have the maybe the crank position to show the expansion. So expansion will be very swift actually, and that is too dangerous. So I should have sufficient expansion followed by, at the same time, prior to that, I should have the combustion product should be also be completely burnt. Sufficient combustion, there is a flame propagation followed by expansion. So these things has to be designed so that there is no overheating of the engine. There is no something called as knocking, all those things. We have to avoid some of the things which clearly happens in an SI engine. So those unwanted burning of your fuel air mixtures. So those things also we need to avoid. So B to C, what we call actually is the flame propagation. And if you look at the C is roughly around maybe I told that maybe 12 to 16 degrees or 18 degrees after your top dead center. Then from C, your expansion process will start. Okay, so 3 is the after burning, and 2 is nothing but your flame propagation or combustion process, and 1 is the ignition delay to start your ignition at the point P. So this is your actual combustion process in an SI engine. So theoretically that should happen, but if you look at actually, this is what is happening. Is that clear? Any doubts? No doubts? Then we'll go to the combustion process in CI engine. Okay. So combustion in CI engine, or your compression ignition engine, or your diesel engine. Combustion in CI engine. Okay. So as I told, if I try to put a theoretical curve, that is called as a motoring curve, in case of a CI engine, it follows this particular path. Look at this path it's going to follow. Simply it will go to A to B, then it will follow this motoring curve. This is your theoretical curve without any combustion process. Okay. Now if you look at the actual combustion in a CI engine, so we had 3 stages in case of combustion in case of an SI engine. Here we have 4 stages of combustion. So that's a major difference. 3 stages in, say, SI engine, 4 stages in your CI engine. We have to try to explain this. That's it. Okay. Now, so I have put this P theta diagram and TDC. This is the exactly 0 degrees. To the left hand side, I am trying to show at 80 degrees, and to the right hand side, I am showing up to another 80 degrees. Okay, this is just sufficient to explain the combustion process. So if I try to call this as some O, so F2 some G, O to A is the compression process. Okay, O to A is your compression process. So compression of air mixture. It is only air. I am trying to compress the air from 0 to A. Now, if you look at this point A, I will try to inject the fuel. So here, injection of the fuel starts. See, at this particular point, the fuel injection takes place. Okay. Now, as soon as you inject the fuel, will the combustion process start immediately? See, theoretically speaking, as soon as the injection of the fuel starts, it should ignite and immediately it should be able to burn. But that doesn't happen. So what will happen? There is a little bit of delay. That means it will follow a curve something like this. Okay, yellow color one. That means there is a little bit of lag between A to B. Okay, so A to B, we have what is called as ignition lag or delay of ignition. So ignition delay or ignition lag. Now, if you look at it, fuel, if you try to put it into an IC engine, into your CI, into your internal combustion engine, so there can be a physical delay and there can be a chemical delay. So this ignition lag or delay, we call it as, it's divided into two parts. So there can be a physical delay. What is this physical delay? It is the time taken for the fuel to atomize. See, the fuel what you injecting into your CI engine has to be atomized. It is not in seconds, it will be all or in milli or microseconds. Okay, so that fuel will take certain amount of time to get atomized. Okay, once it gets atomized, so there is called as chemical delay. What is this chemical delay? It has to form a mixture. Okay, so once it is done, once it gets atomized, it has to form a combustible mixture. Combustible air fuel mixture with the already compressed air. Okay, with already compressed air is there, which is already compressed from 0 to A. So this fuel, atomized fuel, has to mix with it. So chemically it has to mix and then form a combustible mixture. So at point B, the mixture is ready. Okay, the point B, the mixture is ready. What, see, if you are not completely giving the complete spraying of your fuel, so certain amount of fuel is required for me to start the combustion. So that may be a chemical thing. But what will happen? You will be injecting the fuel from maybe from this point to this point. You will be continuously injecting the fuel. So period of injection, that is fuel injection, will take place. But at point B, the whatever the amount of fuel that is injected is just sufficient to start the combustion. So A to B is nothing but ignition delay. So which may be physically delay and there can be chemical delay also. Now at point B, see B to C is nothing but actually it is uncontrolled combustion. Okay, B to C is nothing but uncontrolled combustion. So what happens here? So B to C, you are trying to push the fuel air mixture, and this fuel air mixture actually will be start combusting. So will start burning, or the flame propagation will take place in this direction. And this is of a particular, say, look at this two actually, uncontrolled combustion of maybe this may happen for a crank angle of around 18 to 20 degrees. around 15 to 20 degrees or something, around 15 degrees, this will happen. So uncontrolled combustion will take place. And then from point C to D, it's a controlled combustion. Okay, so what happens actually, C to D, your ignition, so almost you are trying to come to the end of, so fuel air mixture, see, a part of the fuel air mixture which is trying to still, let's see, why it is called uncontrolled combustion? Because the fuel is still in the process of mixing with the air. And whatever the flame propagation, you don't have cut. So a lot of studies has to be done to understand this particular thing. A little bit of rich mixture, 10% rich mixture, will have this uncontrolled combustion, lead to what is called as detonation or knocking. So here I need to, so here fuel control has to be very, very specific. We have to be very, very precise. So this uncontrolled combustion, so what will happen? Fuel is still mixing with air. Atomized fuel is still mixing with the air. Okay, and this particular thing, and the flame propagation takes place. And the flame propagation takes place. Then what happens at C to D? C to D actually, C to D and, yeah, C to D, what will happen? C to D or C to F actually, yeah, C to, still it goes C to D, yeah, C to D. If you look at it, C to D, this is called as controlled combustion. What happens in the controlled combustion? See, the fuel mixture is almost in the process of completing the, so whatever the amount of fuel you have injected, so that fuel is almost getting atomized, and you are trying to control the flame. Yes, this you are done. Your combustion process is almost like whatever the fuel injection is almost done. So you are trying to burn completely. So fuel mixing is nearing the completion, and the flame propagation is, so here it is uncontrolled, that is movement of this, but here the flame movement is becomes controlled. That means I will try to this particular thing, so it's not happening, it's not like a human control or something. It is what, it all depends on what is the amount of quantity of the air fuel you are trying to mix it. Okay, so once you reach this particular point D, so D to F actually, this is where, say D to F is nothing but your starting of your expansion or after burning. So D to F, slowly it will start expanding, and F to G is a complete expansion process. Okay, so it will reach as a here at point D, I am going to reach what is called as a peak pressure. It is a peak pressure at which your pressure, see, this combustion products will reach to the particular point. Burning of this particular point, it will reach to the particular point. This is the peak pressure. Okay, so that's a combustion that's taking place. Now from D to F, it is, maybe we can call it as a stabilization. The whatever the flame that is getting stabilized and expanding. Okay, so D to F, flame stabilization with expansion, and F to G or whatever is there. So this is your after burning or expansion. After burning or expansion. So if I try to explain this curve 0 to A, what is this compression? Then A to B, it's a ignition delay. So there can be physical delay, there can be chemical delay. Then B to C is uncontrolled combustion. So C to D or even C to F, they call it as a controlled combustion. Okay, C to D is actually, it's a little bit of combustion, still flame is propagating. So D to F, it's once again the flame stabilization. Even C to F, some of the books they call, see, even C to F, this combined together, they call it as a controlled combustion. Because flame stabilization also form into the same category of controlled combustion. Then from F, there is an expansion of your fuel, burnt gases, and you will see the complete power that is produced by your engine. Okay, fine. So is it clear? So this is about your combustion in SI engine, and as I have not I have gone in detail in such a way that it's easy for you to explain. So I have put a very simple sketches. I put a simple sketches with some kind of a coloring this thing, so it will be much easier for you to understand. So both combustion in SI engine, so combustion in CI engine. Is that clear? Any doubts? Kiran? Nagendra?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. What about Nagendra? Is there sleeping?
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Nikhil? Nikhil? Konda Nikhil? Are you there? Hanumanta?
Yes, sir.
So any doubts?
Not, sir.
Okay, fine. So then we'll try to look at two more topics. Okay. What is it actually? Knocking. Okay. What is knocking in IC engine? Knocking and detonation. Knocking and detonation in IC engine. If you're able to look into these two topics, then we have to look into the performance test. I think your friction power test actually. So what is knocking in IC engine? Let me write this. Knocking in internal combustion engine. Knocking in IC engine. Okay. What is this knocking? See, knocking is nothing but it's some kind of, whenever this IC engine makes a sharp sound or a sudden sound due to premature combustion of part of the air fuel mixture. Okay, it is nothing but knocking is the sudden sound, sound caused by the IC engine, by an IC engine due to premature combustion, okay, of the part of the fuel air mixture. In the engine. Okay. So if a engine properly functions, the charge burns with flame. See, what will happen if I try to look at this? If I come back to this particular SI engine itself, I'll come back to here. So what will happen here? If the 0 to A compression, A to B there's a spark ignition, and B to C is the flame propagation. If the charge burns properly in this flame propagation, okay, that means it is progressing in this fashion smoothly from the point of ignition, that is point B, to C. Okay, what will happen? That means it's a smooth combustion. But sometimes what will happen? A small part of these particular things, a small part of this particular frame, somewhere here. Okay, because of the previous combustion temperature itself, maybe in SI engine, there maybe we call it as some kind of an hot spot. Okay, the temperature, see, if the temperature of the fuel air mixture, if there is an auto ignition, that means I was supposed to start the ignition. See, even though I'm trying to start the ignition at point B, so what will happen? So it may start at this particular point, somewhere here, just before your ignition itself. Okay, at this particular point. That is a small part of the so it's a compressed air fuel mixture. It is premature combustion. It was supposed to start at point B, but there's a small before your spark is ignited, it gets auto ignited. So what will happen? There is a little bit of irregular combustion. What will happen? The flame which was supposed to go in this direction, so the flame will start go like this, and your ignition will start once again like this. So there will be a front movement and a back movement of your combustion products. Okay, your combustion. So it's nothing but an intense high frequency in an uncontrolled manner. Okay, so because of this, what will happen? Because of that, so if there is an auto ignition, so due to auto ignition, okay, depending on our composition as well, so the charge spontaneously ignite ahead of the flame front. Okay, the charge, that is fuel air mixture. Okay, the charge is nothing but fuel air mixture. Okay, auto ignites or spontaneously ignite. Okay, so it's spontaneously charge may spontaneously ignite before the head of the flame front, ahead of the flame front or flame propagation, ahead of the flame front, okay, which lead to burn in uncontrolled. This is an uncontrolled and burn in uncontrolled manner. Uncontrolled manner. Okay, that will this will lead to this uncontrolled combustion or uncontrolled this thing. This will lead to okay intense or a small at the momentary, so high frequency pressure waves. High frequency pressure waves. This will lead to instance high frequency pressure waves, which will exert a force on the engine. Okay, this pressure waves which exerts force on the engine to vibrate. Okay, this will exert a pressure on the engine to vibrate, and that will lead to what is called as knock, and that is called as knocking. But what happens in a CI engine? CI engine, it's instead of auto ignition, this may be because of the high compression ratio. So auto ignition, in CI engine, auto ignition has to take place, but the auto ignition will take much earlier compared to the point of its ignition. So the process of knocking in an IC engine or CI engine or SI engine is almost the same. The only thing is here it is mainly because of the auto ignition. Before the spark plug, the ignition takes place. But in case of an CI engine, so even though it is an auto ignition, but the auto ignition will be much earlier what it was supposed to be. So there is a small time delay or there is a small time gap. So for the flame propagation to move ahead of your actual flame propagation. So because of this, actually the whole engine will have a high pressure waves. This will cause the engine to suddenly immediately vibrate, and that vibrate will lead to what is called as some kind of a noise, and that we call it as your knocking. And what are the disadvantage of this particular knocking? See, this knocking, it's nothing but high temperature pressure waves. That is high temperature. So this knocking will spoil your spark plug. This is going to spoil your valves. Okay. So this will lead to erosion of the combustion chamber. Erosion of the combustion chamber. Okay, these are the effects. So knocking, you can call it as a knocking effect. Okay, so when the erosion of the combustion chamber takes place, what will happen? This will become rough. Okay, so when the engine surface becomes rough surface, so this will lead to the operation of the engine. Okay, inefficient operation. So we can call this will lead to what is called as inefficient operation of the engine. Operation of the engine. Okay. Now, suppose how to avoid this knocking. Okay. So how to avoid? So knocking can be avoided. How? First thing is, I should ensure that the compression ratio of engine is optimized. It should not be too high, because compression ratio is one of the factor that will lead to knocking, whether it is this thing. Then the burning time, okay, the combustion charge is the second one. Okay, then the third one, actually, if I'm using an SI engine, so it should have the high octane number. Okay, if I'm using a gasoline engine or your IC, maybe your SI engine, it should have a high octane number, so that will automatically reduce your pre-combustion. If I have a high octane number, this thing, your auto ignition or pre-combustion will be as much as possible reduced. You might be seeing that when we try to use, I think some of the auto fellows, what they try to do is actually they try to put kerosene instead of your petrol. So this is nothing but a low octane number. Even though your SI engine, I can use the kerosene. It's being a lighter fuel, but still I can use what it you can see that it gives a lot of knocking, because what will happen? This will lead to pre-combustion, or what we call it as premature combustion, or much the combustion will take place much before your spark is produced. And kerosene is not a high octane number; it's a very low octane. If you look at the octane number of an kerosene, it's much lower, and the burning time was also is completely different. See, because the engine is designed for a petrol, your burning time for a kerosene is much different. So some factors actually which your knocking can be avoided. And if there's a knocking, so knocking will lead to maybe we can call it as destruction of your whole engine will happen. Okay. Now the second thing actually. Okay, we will try to 12:55. So let's try to stop here.